And they are having softwares like Carnivore, which conducts electronic surveillance and emails. Because these transmissions, once they take place, you can't have access to them. So you have to have a surveillance and national security. That is something which we have to live with this in this modern age, in the age of terrorism, something which we can't afford to be lax. So I think we have to trust our law enforcement, and we can only ensure and hope that they will exercise their powers wisely.
Sir, I agree with your point that too much regulation of putting too much, enacting too much laws to deal with the cyberspace won't help, because technology, sometimes it may hamper the development of technology. Law should not do this kind of thing. Law should, but in cyberspace, what I feel, sir, is that it is not, like other laws, like other offline situations. It is not possible to control totally all kinds of regulation or all kinds of offences. So we must accept this fact.
I agree with you, because unless we become a police state and excessively obsessed with control, we will not be able to regulate cyberspace. That is why I said cyberspace should be seen as a social space, and people should treat it as a place where they can use it for many purposes. They're not merely for trade and commerce, which brings in all these. It's not merely a medium of entertainment. That's what I'm saying. It is something more educational tool. People mainly see this as a sort of entertainment. That is wrong. But that is cyberspace is not merely a medium of entertainment. It is something more. Exchange of ideas, knowledge, progress, everything.
Especially with the internet service providers or service providers, because in many of the instances, it is not practically possible for them to keep eye on all the activities. So if punishment is provided for that, if they are negligent, then there should be punishment. If they are careless, then if they have taken all the reasonable care, and still something wrong goes on, then they should not be punished for that. And the proposed amendments had adequately deal with the issue.
No, we don't want to create unnecessary hardship for these network service providers, for the simple reason they are the gatekeepers of cyberspace. And development of cyberspace will depend upon their initiative. But at the same time, since they are the person who can identify the real actors in the cyberspace, without their cooperation it's not possible. So we want to make their rights and liabilities very clear. The new amending act provides for what are their rights and liabilities, in what circumstances where they will not be liable. So it addresses that issue. One of the major issues and problems faced by these network service providers is how they are liable or responsible for third-party content.
Yes.
They are not aware of somebody posting something and they get. There is a very major issue. Yeah. But then in this law we have addressed them. They will not be liable unless they have been informed and they refuse to take it off their thing. Then the second question arises whether they are justified in taking it off or not. It has to go into merits. So these are all issues which has to be sorted out as we progress further. And as a law, any law has to be tested in the course of time. We will see. Yeah. But we don't want the service providers to be put to any hardship. But then we need them to control cyberspace for a limited purpose from law enforcement.
Sir, do you think the law enforcement machinery, particularly the investigatory authorities and the adjudicatory bodies, are they properly equipped, well versed with Information Technology Act, proposed amendments related to that?
No, this is one area where the legal profession is sadly lacking. No, Lee Lowinger, the founder of Jurymetrics, he said long back in 1949, law is the only profession, legal profession is the only profession which has not developed any significant tools in the past 200 years. Yeah. He said it's a very sad reflection of the legal profession for the simple reason, lawyers are very conservative, judges are still conservative. So they are not up to date. They don't carry, because the traditional conservatism is just bogging them down. So we need to have capacity building, we need to have awareness, and we need to have more online courses. Law, for anything for that matter, knowledge, is today galloping at such a great speed. Our knowledge is becoming obsolete overnight.
Yes.
Overnight our knowledge is obsolete, and things change overnight. Change is to man what water is to fish. We live in this age of change. So a successful man has to manage change, and he has to adapt himself. Therein lies his success. And legal profession has been very sadly lacking in this area. So we need to have lot more programs like this, not only for learners, also for judges and lawyers and anybody. There is nothing wrong if people say we don't understand, because the learning is a process of continuous process. We go until we die, we learn.
Yeah.
So I don't think I have learned anything. Whatever I talk on this act on cyber law, I did it when I had to draft this legislation. As a draftsman, sometimes I have to draft legislation overnight. We have to work very hard. But this legislation I had 14 months. I had all the time so I could acquire knowledge about the subject. Yeah. Then I had then internet was very popular. I had access. So this is all you gain on the job. You see, you learn. Daily you learn. The process of learning never stops.
One thing, sir, I feel is that for any kind of cyber regulation, technology and law should go hand in hand. Because law will alone won't be able to regulate the cyber.
No, that's why I said we need to have public-private partnership.
Yes.
This is one area where we need the private industry to cooperate with the law enforcers, because technology is far ahead of law.
Yeah.
And even government cannot, even US, the government is not able to keep pace. So they have to get the private industry to support them.
In fact, that's the real picture is the law is always far, far behind the rapid developments in the science and technology, and Information Technology Act is another milestone in creating a regulatory space and laws and defining a number of new offences. And the Information Technology Act 2000 with the proposed amendments will try to create and position India as a global player in the information technology. Already the Indian information technology industry is doing very well at the local level, national level and global level, and also this legislation, the proposed amendments, will further enhance and provide necessary legal regulations. Thank you, Dr. Vishwanathan, for accepting our invitation and sparing your time and coming over here and giving a bird's eye view of the entire Information Technology Act 2000 and explaining some of the essential features and also taking us through the proposed amendments. In fact, you are very right, sir. There is a rapid education which is necessary in these new legislations, particularly the Information Technology Act, which requires a wider capacity building, knowledge and awareness among different stakeholders who are involved in the information technology industry, legal professionals, prosecution and investigatory mechanisms, and the adjudicatory bodies. In fact, that is the important and the main purpose of launching of this postgraduate certificate in cyber law, which aims to create this knowledge, awareness, and enhance, build up already the professionals, those who are working in this. Thank you.